Guys, Lorenz, we're back with the Bettor Podcast, and we've got an MTN8 special today. This is somebody actually that I've been chasing for a while because he just ended his career, a very long career. As long as I have been alive, I've been watching this guy on my television screen, and I was joking with him earlier that I made my hair platinum in honor of his legacy so that I can speak to him today. But none other than Vuyo Mere, multiple league winner, won so many domestic cups, a former South Africa international, played for some of the biggest football clubs in South African football. Vuyo, I'm pleased to have you on the Bettor Pod, and thank you for joining us.
Lorenz, thanks for having me, big brother. And thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I know you've been chasing me for a long time. But then, yeah, it feels good to be here, big man.
Yeah, look, obviously you've called time on your career officially. I don't think you played much last season.
Yeah.
But just how is it feeling now that it's like, the ball has finally dropped, the shoes are officially off?
I can now sleep at night, Lorenz. I don't want to lie, because now I had that thing in the back of my mind that, where am I going to find a job? You still want to play, and then you still find fans, football-loving people asking you, when are you retiring? That question always stays at the back of your mind to say, do I look tired?
Yeah.
And then you find people that say, hey, you're still young, man, you can still go on. So I've decided, no, man, it's finally enough. I think I've done everything I could in South African football. And, just to turn the page, and look forward to my next chapter in football.
I look you in better condition than I am, and I'm not even close to your age. But so you're obviously still in good nick. Wasn't it very tempting to say maybe I should go like NFD or player coach, maybe ABC Motsepe League to grow my profile? Not that you need to grow your player profile, but maybe your coaching portfolio.
Yeah, honestly, I just wanted to quit while I was still relevant.
Okay.
Because a lot of times, we want to push it as much as we can, but at times we're forcing it. And I felt like, I've done enough, man. And it was a lot of stress. I was tired of maybe the experience that I got prior to retiring. It was just hurtful and painful. And I just decided, let me just give peace to the people who've supported me right through my career, and especially my family. I think they saw me how I was before, maybe just after I've retired, but then before I announced it. So yes, I think it was, fair for the people who were behind me all right through my career to get that, sense of like, I'm done. I'm done. It was enough for me. And I just wanted to be grateful for the support and everything, and to officially to say to other teams that, I'm prepared to turn the page and I'm ready for the new chapter.
What was that for?
There was a lot of things that was going on. As footballers, we just want to feel important, Lorenz. You want to play the game, and as much as they can tell you that, that you are a senior now, you train in the same way as the rest of the guys, and in the back of your mind, you're competing. And then every time, you don't get the nod or to start, yes, you understand you're a senior guy, but it pains you. You wanna contribute, because most of the times the team plays, and then you are just there in the bus going back home, and then at home they'll be like, where were you going? You should have just stayed here with us. And those kind of questions, they dampen your confidence somewhere, somehow, and there's a story that just came out from one of the players in the PSL right now, and it's a youngster playing at one of the biggest teams, and it shows how confidence such things can lead to you losing interest or the love of football. So I think it was about time for me to say, you know what, no, I'm enough. Before I lose this love that I have for the game, let me just not call it quits.
But I mean, from the outside, we all just assume that you were part of the technical team, because like when you did announce your retirement, people were like, wasn't this guy retired already? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it wasn't as if you were wearing a coaching uniform and with the youngsters and hybriding with the first team. What was the situation last season?
The previous coach, Coach Siad Ramovic, he always told me how important I was in the dressing room, in the team. And, he always made sure that I was in the team, whether I'm injured, whether I'm playing or not, because the impact that I had on the youngsters, I think it helped a lot of them. And now, when I decided already, because I went to him and said, you know what, I think there'll be a better position for some of the youngsters in the team to put them as players, or rather to put the somebody else in my spot, and you can leave me, and I can do the job, maybe at training and all that. And then he's like to me, no, you are very important. I want you every time with the team and next to us. And I think it will be better for you to even maybe start concentrating on your next life after football, or maybe after your playing days, I mean. And then he was like, no, man, what do you think of being the coach, maybe coming in as a assistant coach to Bernard Parker, so that you can start developing yourself? And I saw it as an opportunity to say, you know what, I don't want to retire and go sit at home, because it's tough out there, Lorenz. It's tough out there. A lot of guys, they retire, they sit at home, and then we forget about them. So that opportunity was granted to me, and I was like, no, I'm going to take it. Let me just go and arm myself maybe with the coaching courses and all that. And I started with my D license, got it, and then I'm currently doing my C license. And at that moment, you know, I only stayed 1 month with the DDC as an assistant to Coach Parker, and he called me back into the first team because he realized the impact that I had on the youngsters. So yeah, I never looked back, and I think it was, like I said, it was fair for the Vuyo Mere supporters, you know, to say that I'm officially retired. You know, they mustn't look for me and ask, what are you doing now? So I think I owe them that much.
If you don't mind, I'm asking, how old are you right now?
I'm 41.
41. This is your age on your birth certificate. This is your 41.
Lorenz, I didn't visit Home Affairs frequently. So my parents went to register me once. I've never went back to Home Affairs until I went to sign when I got married, and went to make my ID card and passport. That's it. These other ones of changing names, surnames, and date of birth.
So others probably also reach 41, but it says something else. But the reason why I'm asking you this is like, do you feel like maybe some form of like almost like regret? Because let's look at it this way. There are certain players that maybe end their careers at a much earlier stage than you.
Yeah.
And they get that, I would say, comfortable positions in the big clubs.
Yeah.
I mean, you spend time at like Mamelodi Sundowns. Okay, Swallows and Wits no longer exist, but let's say like a Sundowns or whatever. Do you feel any regrets that maybe you should have prolonged your career elsewhere and have a bit more comfortable exit? Or do you feel, no, this is fine how things went out?
I think everything happens for a reason, Lorenz, because now I could have went somewhere and wanted maybe a smooth exit in the, out of the game. But then when God decides, nobody can change it. You know, I think this is what's the plan, because I've realized and learned right through my career that, you know, we decide, but then God, we plan, but God decides. Because even when I left Mamelodi Sundowns, I thought my career was over, only to find out later on in my life that, you know, he was helping me maybe to be more relevant than I was at Mamelodi Sundowns, because I went to Platinum Stars, won the MTN 8, won the Telkom Cup, and, you know, as a captain. So I wouldn't have achieved that if I was at Mamelodi Sundowns. So now, yes, everything happens for a reason. I think everything that I'm going through right through now, and who knows, I wouldn't be maybe here representing the legends of MTN 8. So had I been maybe somewhere else, I would still be employed somewhere else, and then maybe not happy. So now I don't regret anything. Everything happens for a reason, and I believe that, and God has got so many things in store for me, and I'll keep on thanking him and for the career that he gave me, because, you know, not a lot of people can look back and say, you know, we've played 23 years in the PSL.
Your career dates back to, like, I think your first professional club was Hellenic in Cape Town, if I'm not mistaken. If you look back at all of these clubs, which one do you have like the fondest memories of, and you feel like, I really, really enjoyed my football at this club, and why?
Yeah. 23 years is a long time. But I think when I got to Mamelodi Sundowns, you know, when I started feeling the love of supporters, because from Hellenic, yes, Hellenic had supporters, but then it's just a few supporters at the stadium. But then I got to Gauteng, the province, and then I got to Mamelodi Sundowns, where I started playing for a team that has a huge following. And we started winning trophies, it just put my career somewhere where I never expected to be. And I represented my country while I was playing for Mamelodi Sundowns, and I think this is where maybe I made my name or my mark in South African football at Mamelodi Sundowns.
With the Scala.
Yeah, you see what I mean? That was just my trademark, Lorenz, and I enjoyed myself. Every time, maybe for every footballer, we're winning and playing regularly. That's all you want as a professional. So yes. I think I've achieved all those things at Mamelodi Sundowns, even though at Platinum Stars also, I had a enjoyable 7 years there because, I was also winning trophies at Platinum Stars, and we were well treated at Platinum Stars, and yes. The people of the Northwest welcomed us very well, and we had so much fun, and we felt so important and wanted. That's what's important.
It's crazy to think of like how many generations of footballers that you played with. If you think about back in the 90s at the Hellenic, at Platinum Stars, you would have played with Gift Links maybe, or Cody Sang. You saw them as lighties there and stuff. So look, the Sundowns thing is interesting because I spoke to Wayne Arends a couple of weeks ago, and he said when he joined Sundowns, he finally felt like a professional.
Yeah.
Because of the coaching, the facilities, a decent wage for once. He's like, damn, this is what people earn at their professional clubs. Because what I was earning before was like, you can't compare it. You know what I mean? But that Sundowns team had like big names. Yeah. Which of the names do you look back and like were your favorite teammates at that Sundowns team? There was like Sapula. There was there was too much.
Yeah. But we all know that, is their philosophy. They attract big name players.
Galacticos.
Yeah, they attract just big name players. And, it's a funny story, but then one of the journalists reminded me that when we were announced as new signings, in that room in Sandton, we had Peter Ndlovu, we had Brian Baloyi, we had Josta Dlala, and Thabiso Ramile, Surprise Moiri. And me and Thabiso Ramile, we were just sitting in a corner right then. No journalist came to us to interview us afterwards. Sure. And he was like, remember that day when everybody was flocking to Peter Ndlovu and Brian Baloyi, and you guys were just sitting in the corner as if like you were part of us. I was like, yo, Razo, I don't want to remember that day because, somewhere, somehow, it pained me, but I think it motivated me, to say, I'll show this journalist who I am, what I'm capable of. And just years down later, and they were the ones now that were flocking in my corner. So I use that as a motivation. And me and Thabiso, we still talk about and joke about that day. But then,
But in retrospect, if you think about it, like in like today's era, that would be like, what? I don't know, like Ronwen Williams being announced with the Mofo King, and like it was, there were big deals at the time.
I don't blame the journalists for flocking to them because Peter Ndlovu had just come from England, Josta Dlala from Denmark, and Brian Baloyi, obviously, KZ Chiefs, and Hellenic, come on.
Where was Ramili come from? Celtic?
No, from Maritzburg. Maritzburg. It was still in the lower ranks. So now we understood later on that, you know what, you need to start now making a mark in the PSL and start playing regularly so that these people can now give attention to you. And we never looked back. It motivated us. The surprise was there to motivate us as much as he was also an unknown player. When we started training and playing with those big guns, it was just a motivation. Obviously, butterflies first couple of weeks. Imagine going to play against, play with, you have to face Siaka Tiene in your first training session. Brian Baloyi is there, Andre Arendse is there. People who watched, I used to watch Andre Arendse at the AFCON. And then all of a sudden, we are in the same dressing room. Michael Manzini, Daniel Mambush, Rafael Chuku. Yes. So, but then once we started feeling part of the team, it really helped us because it boosted our confidence. Once you start doing well and you get credit from those players that telling you that, yeah, you are a good player and you're doing well. And then you start showing also in games, and then it just boosted my confidence.
Okay, so obviously it can hurt your confidence, but you need to have the mentality to bounce back, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm recalling now, there was an article the other day, I was reading an old article, exactly the same situation as you.
Yeah.
Teko Modise was unveiled as a
Yeah.
Sundowns player, and Tembazwane was unveiled at the same thing, and he was coming from Vardos.
Yeah.
And nobody paid any attention to him, and look how his career ended up. But now let me put you in the psyche of a professional footballer. You were right back, you're coming to a new club, right?
Yeah.
I look now at the Pirates, they have a new right back.
Yeah.
And he didn't really particularly do well in his first two
games.
What are you thinking as a footballer, and how do you bounce back from this? Because maybe it's different, because maybe in your era when you joined Sundowns, there wasn't Twitter, there wasn't Instagram, where they... It's just the fans at the stadium that is on your back. I don't know if you've ever had that, where you've had bad games and the fans were on your back. But if you did, how do you navigate that?
I think one of the senior guys that actually spoke about this thing, it was Benson Hlongo. He used to say to us, the youngsters, that, stay away from the media and all these social media things, because those things can break or make you. So now, for the poor boy now at Orlando Pirates, he's a talent. You can tell by just being signed by Orlando Pirates, which means they saw something good in him. So now it's going to come from the senior guys also. Yes, it starts with him, for him to be strong, because, you doubt yourself, but then you must ask yourself questions, relevant questions, positive, talking to yourself. How did I get to Orlando Pirates? It was not a fluke, which means they saw something positive in me. So now what do I do with it? Do I let this break me or build me? So let me go to the senior guys, maybe ask, where can I improve and all that. Yes, obviously, if you are not strong enough, you're going to allow those naysayers to say, no, you're just not good enough. It's not good enough. And once you allow them to play in your head, you are gone. You are gone, because now at Orlando Pirates, once your confidence is done, there's going to be players that are looking to play.
Yeah, there's 5 right backs.
Exactly. So now you don't have time to drop your head. Just go to, I'm hoping the senior guys went to him, also helped him about talking to him about his confidence. Because, I also felt sorry for the boy, because it could have happened to anyone. But then, yes, I think...
But you can see its nerves, because I watched the first game against Sekhukhune, and I'm sitting from the media zone. And you can just see when someone is not playing with instinct and confidence, when they're getting the ball and not knowing, like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, because they're doubting, like... It's almost like imposter syndrome, because everyone on the pitch, Sekhukhune plays, was knocking the ball with confidence. And when he received the ball, it was like, do I pass? Do I run? Do I cross? You know what I mean?
Yes, I'm asking. The question is, how was the preparation? Was the boy doing well in friendly games at training? What gave him the nod to be the one that is starting? So now, if the coach was or the technical team was so confident in playing him first, which means he's capable. So now there's 4 more right backs. So now, are we going to lose the boy? That's going to depend from a technical team and the senior guys at Orlando Pirates. But the other question that we raise also as fans or supporters, do you think it was the right time to introduce new players, so many new players?
There was 10 new signings in the squad, not the 11, the squad.
The squad, exactly.
Imagine the dynamic change. Like, just let's look at the team bus ride. Like 10 new gents in the bus.
In the bus, and you play 5 of those players. 6 of those players. That's something is gonna have to give us. I mean, preseason was not that long. We look at how Orlando Pirates introduced Rele Mofokeng into the team. Gradually. Him and Kota, not Mbokazi, 5 not 5 players at once. So it will always expose some of the things, because now they play well against Polokwane City in the quarterfinals, and then we think they got away with it. This is the problem that we have now, that we're thinking now we are on the right track because you got away with 1 game. Now karma comes and then the boy is exposed.
Mm.
So now you can't play 5 of them.
But I was speaking on the way to my friend here now, and he was like, there's the other situation where, let's say they played the exact same team of last season and they don't get results, and then the fans will be saying, but we signed 13 players.
It's always like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
in football, unfortunately, we only talk when the result,
When something's wrong.
when
Yeah.
something is wrong, and we can't change it. It's the nature of the game, obviously. Because after the first game, we said in the quarterfinals, we said your Pirates is going to give Sundowns the run for their money.
Sure.
We never saw them losing 2 games in the league.
Marumo Gallants.
Marumo Gallants and Sikokuni. Okay, Sikokuni, yes, is doing well. They're in the good space. But then, not Pirates losing their first 2 league games. No, it's something. And now, you must just remember, it's a new coach. Everybody's asking themselves, will he fill the shoes of Jose left? And now...
How important is it now that they win on Saturday against Sundowns?
Yes. That's a do or die.
Yeah.
I just feel like the coach is so under immense pressure. Like he has to get that first win in the league under his win. But then with this one, Pirates, they've got this thing. This is their trophy. They have to win it as long as it takes. So yeah, but then I'm hoping he'll calm the guys down, and the senior guys will come to them. This injury thing is killing Pirates. You can't play so many youngsters at this level against that Mamelodi Sundowns team. Once that team gets in gear, yes, it's going to be difficult to stop them.
But Sundowns also has some issues.
Yeah.
Look, they traditionally don't really start at beating teams 5, 6, over the past, let's say 10 years. But they gradually look. And then while you're busy or the fans are complaining, Sundowns is not the same. They have 10 wins.
Yeah.
But they do have issues because Shalulile wants to leave. He's in talks with, another club. Costa is not there. There's interest from Letlaku. There's a couple of players. Mudau is not there as well. And the coach even said last night, it's normal, that when there's interest in players, their heads are going to be thinking about money, they're thinking about contracts, they're thinking about their future, It's normal that these things can happen, and he's just hoping that they can sort it out very soon.
Yeah.
But how are they still winning?
Lorenz, you take the...
Let's look at Amazulu yesterday.
Yeah. You take a look at the team that started on the bench, and then you turn the camera to the stands. That those players there in the stands, they can come in at any time and produce and take the team forward. So now I think it's the philosophy of Mamelodi Sundowns, to just attract quality players. And a lot of times, like we see now, the poor boy saying he's frustrated, he's lost the love for football, Maseko, quality player. And imagine he's not playing at Mamelodi Sundowns. And now you bring him in. You bring in Shalulile in from the bench. You bring in Shishi in from the bench. That's all quality. We're talking about now national team players. And now I think this is where now they need to realize, Mamelodi Sundowns, you can play anybody. So now they can't allow these outside factors, especially created by the media, by the supporters, and all the other footballers, because they built a team. That's what I like about them. Yes, stars, full of stars, but then they've built a team. When they play, you don't get to realize who is not playing.
But do you really think it's look at the previous generation. Let's say the surprise movie, your generation. If you look at the Sundowns team, do you really think it is as that level of stars currently, or do you think they've built more of just a really good system and the system suits the players? Look at it now. Of the previous generations. Teko Modise, Klompos, and those.
What I love about the current crop is that, they're building their own brands at Mamelodi Sundowns. You look at so many players from SuperSport United, where at SuperSport they played a different brand of football where it was just boom, boom, boom. And then you look at, example, Grand Kakana.
He wasn't rated as the Benson Mklongo. Jaden Adams wasn't a Teko Modise.
Yeah.
You get where I'm going.
I get what you're saying, but then, like I said, now they've built this team around these boys that, it just keeps they just keep going. They just keep going. They keep anybody who comes into that team. I think credit must go to their technical staff, and I think it's the philosophy that they believe in. So now, once they start bringing in players, and those players just flourish when they get to Mamelodi Sundowns. Yeah. So now, I don't expect them now to make this an issue that Ribeiro wants to leave, whoever wants to leave,
sign someone else.
Sign somebody else, because they're even in the stands they have capable players that can play in that position. I was just worried that they played Fawaz Basadine at right back, but then there was a boy, what's his name, who's playing right back,
Zuko.
Yes, you see, give this introduce one, gradually introduce the ball. Now you want to play Fawaz as a right back, you're exposing the guy.
We haven't really touched on Sekhukhune and Stellenbosch with the other semi-finalists, but what have you made of them? Because they I think they're bringing a new excitement into the league. Chiefs is not in this conversation. They never qualified. But Stellenbosch and Sekhukhune are gradually, even though they lose players, they're gradually looking as if they're strengthening season in, season out. You know what I mean? Big win over Pirates or Sekhukhune. Okay, Stelli's lost to Chiefs, but I think when they get their new signings, the coach hinted that he feels that these new players could be better than the ones that they're replacing. So what do you make of that semi-final and those two teams in general? Do you think they can start competing?
I just love consistency from both teams, because you look on how the teams finished last season. Mamelodi Sundowns, Pirates.
It's the top four.
It's the top four, you see what I mean? So now, which means it shows consistency, and there's something right that they're doing. So now with Stellis, they lost in the final last season against Orlando Pirates. I think they feel like, they want to go all the way and win the trophy. And I think for them competing in the continental competition is also helping their confidence. So yes, they lost a couple of players, Sikhanduli to Orlando Pirates and
Toure, Pasadine.
Yes, and you can see that it had an impact. In those players were regulars. I think they still need to replace those players. So now with Sekhukhune, they are in a good space. They also did well last season, but I think they want to go all the way this season. So it's going to be an interesting one, The experience that they have, they signed experienced players, team joining the likes of Tambo there in the middle and Tabamunar. They are just a balanced team. And the youngster from Kasrik, who just won Man of the Match. Yes, Togolo. He's not a fancy kind of player, like Eric Tinker likes them. He just like that defender that does the job, kick the ball forward.
Roy Mahmoudza.
You see, we don't want fancy things, And obviously, Bradley Hobler, yes, that's a sniper. We all know what he is capable of. So I think Sekhukhune, they are in a good space.
Didn't you play with Seatley at DS Galaxy?
Yes, I did.
Okay, this is an interesting thing because, like for example, Seatley was a rotational player. He come in, he come out, he did a good job. Nobody noticed him. He comes to Stellenbosch. He plays with Oxum Tetwa. Oxum Tetwa leaves, and then he becomes an important player. So, how important is it for the development of players? Just confidence, game time, and a defined role. Because otherwise, let's say Seatley, he didn't go to Stellenbosch. Let's say he went to, I don't know, Magezi or Black Leopards. He could have been lost to the system. Now he's in Pirates. He could even make it into the Bafana squad in future. How important is it that they just find that this right? Like, how is Stellenbosch doing this? Signing a play that was like nobody noticed.
Exactly. I think the guys there that are scouting players for Stellenbosch, they know what they're looking for.
Did you see this quality of him at Galaxy?
Yes, I've always seen this quality of him. Yes, because he was one of the guys also not playing regularly. So I used to talk to him a lot that, Donna, you are capable, your talent, you can play at any time. So you should always be ready. Don't sulk and you drop your head or you speak negatively, or just continue training the way you're training. Your chance will come. And now, just to give credit to Stellenbosch, as a team, I think even now when they signed Kiba, I think they knew that, Adams was about to leave, and they already were seeking for replacement for him. And even for Traore, I think they also have replacement for those kind of players.
They signed a boy from Belgium and then signed a new left back, but they must be registered first.
Yes.
And they signed Moko Bodi now from Marumo Gallants.
Yeah.
Nobody knows really much about him, but I'm sure.
But then I'm sure they've been looking for at him for a while. You know, those are the kind of things that, you know, teams I think should do. Whereas, you know, you go out and scout the player according to the team's philosophy. Will he fit in? Not only on the field.
And plan ahead.
Yes.
Because like you said, we know Adams is leaving.
Yeah.
This is what we will try. We'll have 5 names. We know Pasadin's leaving. This is what we'll try. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, your predictions. Semi-final, who's going to be your finalists?
Can I wait for the first leg first?
Okay.
Let the first legs play, and then
I don't need to give you score lines. No score lines. Just teams. What do you think?
Yeah. Sekhukhune will have an edge over Stellenbosch.
Okay.
And I think Mamelodi Sundowns will walk away with
No, four in a row for Pirates.
I think there's gonna be a new name on the trophy. That's just me for now. Just me for now.
I was hoping that. I was speaking. I said I hope there's a new name. On the trophy for the competition, because not only for the competition, but also to make the other teams hungrier for the next competitions, which is, you know, the other domestic cups and the league and stuff.
Yeah.
So you're going for Sekhukhune.
I'm going for Sekhukhune. I'm going for Mamelodi Sundowns.
Grobler last man standing.
Especially, you know, I just love it when I see.
You also played with him, I think.
No.
Not the Platinum Stars?
No, he left.
Silver Stars.
He played for Silver Star, Platinum Stars, and then he left the season.
I went to Turkey.
Yeah. So now, it just feels good to see the senior guys, you know, stepping up and doing the job as well, because the way the senior guys are treated in our country, it saddens me, because they are pushed aside as if like they are on wheelchairs. So Bradley is just raising the flags for the old Madalas.
But yeah, look here, Mr. Vuyo is saying Sekhukhune Sundowns final, and I think he's leaning towards the Sekhukhune as the cup. But we'll leave it at there. Look, I mean, it was a great to catch up with you. We didn't go as in depth in your career as I would have liked, but I'm sure there'll be more opportunities in the future.
Most definitely.
We'll get to speak to each other. So just thank you for coming onto the show, and I hope wish you all of the best for the future with your coaching badges, and I'm hoping to see you in the dugout very soon, whether it's TDC anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, thanks for having me, Lorenz, man. I had a good time, you know, and to the viewers at home, you know, keep on subscribing, and you know what you do, gents.
Sure.
Wafa.
So there, guys, you have it. Vuyo Mere, freshly retired, going into coaching, and now an ambassador for MTN8. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Until next time, cheers.